is Dr. Derek here with some more exercises to keep your body tapped in, tuned up, and turned on. And today we're going to do a variation of the foundation pose, the founder's pose, called the wide founders. And initially the difference is going to be we're going to step out a little bit wider than shoulder width. And then we're going to get a little bit more advanced in the movements. So if you're still struggling with the founder's pose, make sure you stay there till it becomes a little bit easier and a little bit less strenuous, so that way you don't overexert yourself. Remember, the key is being 10% outside of your comfort zone, and that's where the maximum amount of growth happens. We don't want to push ourselves too far out, because then we might cause injury and set ourselves back, actually. So what we're going to do, hang loose sign, again, make sure we're expanding our diaphragm properly, getting the proper stability out of our core, and then we're actually going to hip hinge back. And this time, as we bring our arms up to our armpit with our inhale, we're going to extend them forward. And now as we do this, we're going to start to lower our hands to the floor. And if you need to bend a little bit in your knees to get all the way to the floor, we're going to sacrifice this range of motion and stability for losing stability in our low back. Because if you try and force it, you'll start to flex in your low back, and that's what causes a lot of injuries. So we're going to be out here, and for every inch we reach forward, we're going to push our butt back about another inch. And so from the side, which will probably be a better angle for you guys, remember we're going to hip hinge back, bring our arms up, anchoring between our feet, extending our hands forward, and then as we move them forward, had to get a little bit wider. I wasn't quite wide in the wide founders. As we move forward, we're making sure to hip hinge further back to keep the stability in the neutral spine. And then I personally need to bend my knees just a little bit here to make it all the way down. And then from here, we're going to do a few things. The first thing we're going to do is what I like to call handing the banana. So you're going to pretend you're a gorilla handing another gorilla a banana. And you just come up, try and reach as high as you can, and this really helps with shoulder range of motion again. And we're going to alternate hands. Just 3 or 4 repetitions, up to 10 if you're feeling up to the task. And then I'll do one more on each hand. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to work on opening up our chest. So we're going to bring our hand up our arm, rotate it to the sky, and when we do this, we're going to straighten out the opposite leg. So we're going to have the right arm down, the right leg straightens out, really getting a stretch in our adductor, really opening up our chest and getting more range of motion in not only our neck but our shoulder, and working on the pec muscles too. And we're going to come back down. And then we're going to do the opposite side. So remember, we're coming up just like we were drawing the bowstring before, following it with our head, our hand with our head, straightening out the leg on the left and extending into the air. And we're going to bring it back down. We're going to do it one more time. If you want to get a little bit more benefit out of this, we're going to start rotating the arm into internal and external rotation, just kind of flossing that glenohumeral joint, getting proper range of motion, activating all the muscles in there. Good, and then we're going to come back to our right one more time. Remember, we're pulling the drawstring of the bow, following our hand with our head and our eyes, straightening out the opposite leg, and then getting that flossing of the shoulder joint. Good, we're going to come back down, put our hands on our thighs, raise our spine, and then squeeze our butt cheeks to bring ourselves back up to neutral. And that is the wide founder variation. I hope you enjoy that exercise and find a lot of benefit out of it, and I will see you next time.